that is why we've now introduced our £10,000 Dropship Unlocked Guarantee.
One of our members just landed a £180,000 B2B deal because
we're so confident in the system that if you don't hit the number,
You don't need to be a product expert. You're a curator, an online retailer. Your goal is to...
And from a minor investment like that, the returns can be...
It's not about being lucky. It's about having the right path. And
e-commerce success isn't just about finding the right product or learning the perfect ad strategy. It's about following a clear, proven system that can give you the confidence to take action and the structure to make that action count. So in this episode today, we're going to show you exactly how we help members get real results and explain the steps behind the £10,000 Dropship Unlocked Guarantee that we now offer inside our Masterclass program. It's our way of backing the process and backing you with a results-driven approach that rewards consistency and effort. Having generated over £5 million in e-commerce sales myself, and with our members now surpassing 8 figures in total revenue using this home turf advantage model, we're going to break it all down and answer the most common questions that we get from new listeners each week.
Perfect. Yes, love to answer these questions that we receive very commonly. And the best way to do it, put them all together, rapid fire, back and forth between each of these highly asked questions. And then hopefully that ticks off everything in your mind as a listener considering starting dropshipping today. So the first thing that we get asked all the time, Lewis, is can you actually guarantee our dropshipping success? And does it really work for everyone?
Well, we've seen success from people with a range of different backgrounds. And the thing that we see time and time again is that the biggest factor is, of course, effort and consistency from the individual themselves. Like, no one's going to gift you this business. You have to put in the work. But what we provide is a very proven path to follow to reach that outcome. So when it comes to guaranteeing success, we've actually now put our money where our mouth is. Recently, we introduced our £10,000 Dropship Unlocked Guarantee. So here's the deal with how the £10,000 guarantee works. Firstly, if you follow the system, you put in the effort, you have to invest at least 5k in ads over 12 months, we'll guarantee you at least £10,000 back in sales from that. Now, the steps that you need to follow to qualify for this are staying active in the community, attending all of the live Q&A calls that we run, and using our proven templates and outreach store setup process. So we're so confident in the process that if you don't then hit that £10,000 in sales mark, we'll refund your Masterclass fee altogether. It's just our way of showing you that we believe in this system. We've seen it work time and time again, and we believe in you as well.
That's incredible. Yeah, to be able to guarantee that is so strong, because essentially what we're saying is if you follow the paths that we've laid out, you will succeed. So the real factor here is, will you follow the path that we've laid out for you? If so, if you're ready, if you're determined, if you've got a good reason why you want to succeed, then you will make the success that we can guarantee now as well. So some people will then say to us, well, how do I know that I will get these results? Like, for example, what if I can't find the right suppliers to work with to get my e-commerce business off the ground? What would you say to somebody that says about how they're not sure whether they can find the right suppliers for their business?
Yeah, it's a great question. And a lot of people first join us because of that question. Like they've struggled with that in the past. And I think when you're a beginner and you're trying to piece this all together from different like YouTube videos of often Americans or people outside the UK certainly trying to teach this model, it's not the same here. We've made it a very simple, straightforward process. And here's how we help you do that. So we provide proven email templates and scripts for you to speak to suppliers and begin that outreach. So firstly, you don't have to guess what to say to them to get suppliers to have the highest likelihood of saying yes to you. But we also show you how, before even reaching out to suppliers, you can set up a demo store. So we actually give you our premium e-commerce optimized Shopify theme that we've created in-house here at Dropship Unlocked, so that you're credible from day one. You have a professional looking store even before you approach suppliers. Now, the next part is we show you actually how to find suppliers. So in week 2, part of that validation process of the products that you're going to sell is ensuring that there are suppliers who are already doing the direct dispatch or drop shipping arrangement, so that by the time it comes to contacting suppliers, you know that they are already happy to work with brands like yours. Now, how to find these suppliers is another thing that we'll guide you through step by step inside week 2, so that by the end of it, you've got suppliers that are open to working with you, regardless of if you're just a beginner and you're just starting out, because the way in which you present yourself with our supplier contact scripts, which we've refined over contacting hundreds and hundreds of suppliers, is that they build trust. They show the supplier that you are a retailer that can add value to them. You can be a new source of revenue and sales for them. So, and put yourself in their shoes. Why wouldn't they work with you? If you've ticked all of the trust boxes, i.e. by using our professional theme, by using our outreach scripts, and by having all the foundations in place that we set up with you inside week 1, like, we have taken all of the guesswork out of the process, that it can just be very, very straightforward if you follow it step by step.
And that's so reassuring to hear. It was a big part of why I joined the Masterclass in the first place, is because I needed to know, how do I actually find these suppliers? Because something that you're very strong on, Lewis, is that we stand apart from those traditional dropshipping people who go to AliExpress or another kind of dropshipping inventory, where you just sign up to a website and start selling the same products that thousands of other people are selling. And they're often 10, 20, 30 pound products. But we stand well apart from that. We're finding the actual brands, the suppliers that have got products in the UK right now. And there's a completely different method to finding those suppliers versus just Googling how to find dropshipping suppliers. It's not the best way to find these brands that are going to sell you really high quality, high ticket items. Now, some people will still wonder whether they need to be a product expert in order to sell products in a certain niche. So what would you say to those people? What's your take on that?
Yeah, I can understand the hesitation. You might think, well, how could I possibly sell, barbecues or furniture or whatever the thing that you're thinking of going into? I'm not an expert in that. I just want to ask you a question. Imagine you had just purchased a barbecue. We'll use that example because I just mentioned it, on Amazon, right? You got it here. It's on the patio at home. You're trying to connect the gas tank up to the side burner, and you just don't know what to do. So you open up live chat on your phone, or you call Amazon customer support. If you were to ask them the question, how do I connect this gas burner to the side stove? Do you expect the customer service rep at Amazon to have the answer to that question for you there and then? No, right? It would be an unreasonable thing for them to have product knowledge on the billions of products that they have on their site. However, if you were to go and say, I'm going to find out for you from our product specialist, from our supplier, and I will get back to you with that information, you've managed the customer's expectation. And actually, that's fine. Like, as long as you don't overpromise, customers are not unreasonable enough to expect you to be a product expert as the person answering the phone on every single item that you sell. Now, you will learn as you go. That's one of the benefits of having a niche store, is that you can eventually start to absorb that knowledge of the products and the types of questions that you're getting. And you can even put things on your website that avoid those same questions from reappearing, like a frequently asked question library or something, or an email sequence that just overcomes those questions before your customers even ask them, or just confidently handle those questions on the phone once you have the information from the supplier the first time. The same is true then of your virtual assistant. If you hire somebody to answer the phone for you, they can do exactly the same. They can email your supplier, they can find out the answer, and then they can go back to that customer. And actually, that can be a real advantage, because you can say, like, hi, we spoke this morning and I promised that I'd get back to you with an answer to your, connection question. I've since spoken to the brand themselves and I've got the answer for you here and now. You ready to go? Like, that's amazing customer service if you actually do what you said you were going to do and get back to them. And so your role, you're not the manufacturer. You don't have to pretend that you are the manufacturer. Your role is to curate great products, offer high quality customer service, a nice professional website, and a great experience for customers. Like, you are the retailer, so you can embrace that role. You don't have to pretend that you're, the one that makes the product. And yeah, I think that Amazon example really brings it home. It would be unreasonable to expect that. Now, I think we can offer way better and more tailored customer service than Amazon do, because we have a way more focused group of products. But you understand the point there. So the training is very much step by step throughout this process. You're going through our program, you're learning everything that you need to know as you go from the product questions that you get from customers along the way. And there really is no need to be an expert from day one. I know I certainly wasn't. I know you weren't an expert in the stores that you're in, James. And yeah, none of our members that have done great results, I don't think any of them would class themselves as experts in the products that they sold when they first started selling. It's amazing how quickly you pick up the information and almost become an expert, though, in a niche.
That's right. It is. Yeah, I can safely say the stores that I'm involved in, I don't have expert knowledge of. I definitely didn't have when I first started, and I've picked up some knowledge along the way, but I still wouldn't class myself as an expert now, because you don't need to be to run stores. It's like chief marketing officers that are CMOs or CEOs in large corporations. They can hop between different companies just step by step, because they don't need to be an expert in the actual products. They know how to sell, and they know how to market products. And essentially what you're learning with the program is how to be able to sell and market products and find sales no matter what the products are, which is so valuable because it means you can follow the data when you choose which product to sell, rather than have to follow your heart and go into something that you're passionate about. So it means that the possibilities are far larger when you don't have to be an expert in the products to start selling them. Now, another question that we're going to address today, Lewis, as we go through rapid fire all of these questions, is one that we get from potential new starters, and they think, well, can I actually sell to businesses rather than just selling to the consumers themselves? So is that possible?
Yes, absolutely. Business to business sales with this kind of thing, or B2B as they call it, can be a very lucrative path to take with this for sure. And many of our members actually do both. It's not like you have to do one or the other, and like you have to class yourself as solely B2B or solely B2C. When you're selling these physical products, a lot of the time it might be a business that buys them. It might be a customer that buys them. It doesn't really matter. You just typically set up the website in very much the same way. Now, the buying mode can be a bit different. If you imagine like a business to consumer website, so like wayfair.com, for example, typically the sales are a little bit more passive. Like a customer will go to the website, they'll have a look at the photos, maybe read the description, look at the reviews, and then they'll click buy, they'll pay with Apple Pay, and that'll be it. They'll have purchased the item. With a B2B sale, it might be a kind of still a human customer, but they might be sitting at their desk. Maybe they're in like a procurement department, or maybe they're the manager of a restaurant, or maybe like whatever it is you're selling. They'll still make that purchase, but they might want 10 of that item for all of their stores, all of their business locations. So they might not just like add 10 items to cart. They might drop you an email, they might phone, and therefore there might need to be a little bit more hand-holding done. But you can get significantly larger average order values if you can do that and create like tailored custom quotes, which, by the way, you can do easily through Shopify. But like a good example of this is one of our members in the program was just putting together a £180,000 order from a commercial buyer. So that's a business who wanted to buy probably several of their products that came to 180,000. Now that's like very, very good revenue to be able to do in a whole month, let alone from one single order. So like you can see the power of business to business transactions within this model. And yeah, absolutely, the two are not mutually exclusive. Inside the program, we show you how to pursue both avenues, and yeah, you're not locked into one or the other.
100%. Very exciting to be considering which type of customer to sell to. We've had success from both sides of the equation. Some people that we know do a business to business niche, and their average order value is like £7,000. And then other people who have had massive success are in B2C niches and don't have as high an average order value, but do loads of volume, so they're still able to get into the 7-figure revenue marks. So there's loads of opportunities, no matter which way you want to go. Maybe play to your strengths or which niche you prefer to go into. Now, going to talk about the ongoing costs, because another question that we receive, Lewis, is how much does it cost to not just start, but how much does it cost to maintain a dropshipping business? So could you break down for us what is the kind of monthly spend to run a business for the dropshipping model that we teach?
Yes, of course. So I'll do my best to try and break it down like a step by step. It's a very low overhead business model, though, certainly in comparison to bricks and mortar businesses. If you imagine like a lot of businesses, you're getting loans out for £50,000, £100,000 to get a retail premises and all the capital equipment before you even earn your first penny. So you're like in huge amounts of debt from day one. That's not the case with this. But there are a few costs, like with any business, that you want to have, in the back of your mind. So Shopify, for example, is where we host our e-commerce store. It's a great service. It's a great system. Costs about £25 to £29 per month. I think they're doing an offer at the moment where you get your first month free, so you can check that out. A domain name, so like the actual website address, will likely cost you about £10-15 per year for your domain name. And then you'll probably want an email marketing platform. And the service we use is called Klaviyo. Again, that's like around £20 per month, and it increases as you build your email list. Business phone line, you probably don't want your mobile number on the front of the site. That wouldn't look particularly professional. So like a nice business phone number that looks like a landline number, but just still comes through to your phone through an app, might cost you £10 per month. And then the other big expense really is just going to be advertising budget, getting customers to actually see your products and come to your store. So we recommend that our members start with an advertising budget when they're ready to run ads. So that might be like week 4 or 5 into the program, of about £30 per day. And the plan then is that you scale up as you start seeing profitable results. So you're not just pouring that money away, you're spending it, you're speculating to accumulate. You're putting that money out there to get customers to your website who then purchase a £1,000, £2,000, £3,000 product, and then you net that profit from that sale, and then that covers your ad spend for the whole next month or 2 months. And then as you grow, you can start to put more into ad spend, get more customers, more sales, and that's the name of the game of this business. But you only increase your ad spend when you're getting profitable returns. So for example, for every £1 you put into Google ad spend, which is our primary platform that we show you how to set up, it is very possible and realistic to be able to generate with this model, say £1 in, £10 to £20 out in revenue. So you're getting £20 back for every £1 that you put in, if done right. So if you get products that are the right price point, that convert, that are in demand, which are all the criteria we show you how to check off in week 2, that's very realistic to achieve.
100%. It really is. And that means that as soon as you're getting that return from your ads, there should be no limit to how much you put in every single day. Because if you're getting a very profitable return, like 10xing your return of ad spend, why not just increase that every day to get more out of the other end of the ad machine that we're building? So very exciting. It's low cost to get started. It's low cost to maintain. You mentioned the cost there, like £50 a month ongoing. It's like less than one sale a month would oversee all of those ongoing costs, and suddenly you're in the green, which is when it gets very exciting. Now, something that we do recommend that you invest in, because it actually ends up saving you more money down the line, is support, and it's learning before you dive in head first. So let's touch on that, the support side of things, Lewis. So members often ask us, if they start working with us to build their businesses, do we provide one-to-one support, and what is the kind of support that we provide inside the program?
Yes. So inside the Dropship Unlocked Masterclass, we provide extensive support in lots of different forms. So the first thing, is probably the most helpful thing that our members report back to us, is that we do twice weekly live question and answer calls on Zoom. So you can dive into these sessions twice a week, and we answer your questions personally in a small group setting. So we're talking like, what do you think, 8 to 15 members on a call? It's sometimes more, sometimes less, but you will always get direct feedback on your challenges. And what I mean by that is that you're getting unmuted on those calls, and you are getting to speak directly with us to ask your questions directly one-on-one with us in that group environment, so that we can answer your questions. The nice thing about that, and the reason we do it, is because some weeks you won't have questions. Some calls you'll just be there to listen in. But the amount of golden nuggets of information you can learn by just tuning in and listening to other people's questions that are a few steps ahead of you is incredible. And you realize, like, oh, I didn't even realize that I would need to know that. You don't know what you don't know, right? You heard that expression. So when you hear these answers and you think, that's amazing, like I've just learned something I didn't realize I'd need, but now I know it. And you would have never thought to ask that question yourself. So I think that's one of the benefits of why we do these collaborative group coaching calls. The other thing is, inside the community, you'll have 24/7 access to a group of like-minded entrepreneurs. You can share your wins, you can post your sales reports in there, you can ask questions, you can hold each other accountable. It's a great community spirit. They're very friendly, like-minded members. We really have got a great community in there. And one of the reasons I think our community is is so vibrant is because we do regular in-person meetups. So we host these optional, but they're very fun. So I think you should try and come if you can. Live meetups where you can meet up with other members in the program. You can network with them. You can learn from one another, and you can get support in real life. You can speak to James and I in the room. You can chat and have a drink and talk through any challenges you have. Now, if you want more in-depth help, absolutely, you can book private one-on-one sessions. Most members, I'd say, probably don't need those and find that they get enough support from the group calls. But we do have that option as well. And yeah, usually like the community, the Q&A calls. We even do like a live collaboration call every few weeks as well. And yeah, that alone is like a fantastic level of support. So yeah, support comes in all kinds of forms at Dropship Unlocked inside the Masterclass. And those are just a few.
Are you enjoying the podcast? We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment or a review and we might feature it in an upcoming episode. And for detailed show notes and resources, visit dropshipunlocked.com/podcast.
If you found value in any episode of this podcast, please could you take just 10 seconds to leave us a quick 5-star review on your favorite podcast app? It helps us more than you can imagine. And who knows, you might just hear your comments read out on the show. Thanks for being a part of our community. Your support helps us keep delivering new episodes to you every week.
Now it's time to answer a question that we've received from a listener, which we love to do on these episodes, because if you have anything that pops up while you're listening, fire away, post it beneath wherever you're watching this video, and we'll pick it up and it may be answered in an upcoming episode. Now, this week, the question has come in from Helen Drake 930, and Helen has asked, please can you explain a bit more about the store build service that you mentioned? It sounds interesting.
Yeah, thank you for your question, Helen. And absolutely, our Dropship Unlocked done-for-you store build is the perfect option for those people that just want to fast-track their success by having our expert team of in-house designers build their store for them. So from branding to color scheme to design to uploading winning high-ticket products, setting everything up to be launch ready. That's what we offer. And now it's a service that's only available to active members of our program. So the best thing to do is reach out inside our community if you want more information on that. Or when you book a call with our team and you're enrolling into the program, just speak with the member of our team that you're speaking with and let them know you're interested in the done for you store build option. And they'll be able to walk you through all the options around how it works and having our designers build your store for you.
Yeah, that's a fantastic option for people there. So thank you for your question, Helen. And now on to highlighting a recent review that we've had for the podcast, because we love to hear it when you enjoy these episodes. It means a lot. We want to share that back with you as well. So Hustlers on YouTube at Hustlers IT said, hearing how Neil, Adam and Mason scaled from 0 to 100K in 6 months was incredibly motivating.
Thanks so much for your review, Hustlers IT. We're very glad to hear that you've been enjoying the podcast. And if you found value in today's discussion, we'd really appreciate it if you could share this episode. Maybe share it with a friend on Facebook or Instagram. Drop it to them as a DM. Leave a comment below this episode if you're watching this and you've got any questions or you want to share any feedback with us. It only takes you a few seconds, but it means the world to us and it just helps us keep this podcast going. We're always looking to hear your thoughts and we might just feature your comment on our next episode.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Dropship Unlocked podcast. We hope you are leaving with new insights and inspiration to fuel your entrepreneurial journey.
To kickstart your e-commerce business, head over to dropshipunlocked.com/start. It's the perfect place to start and get access to resources that will help you build your business from the ground up.
And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more episodes packed with strategies, tips, and success stories. Plus, if you enjoyed this episode today, a 5-star review would mean the world to us, and you might even get a shout out on the next episode.
Thank you for choosing to spend your time with us today. We can't wait to bring you more insights on the next episode of the Dropship Unlocked podcast.